So I'm coming out of the house, and then I turn around and I see Travis, and he's just like, "So we ready to go? We got everything?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, yeah, we've got everything. We got the keys, we got the truck, we got the bags, we've got lunch. We only have the only thing we have left to do is just go pick up Leslie, Jasmine, and Ian, and that's it. And we're ready to go." He's just like, "How far away is this place anyway, man?" And I'm just like, I think it's like an hour away from here. We just have to. I don't know what the detour is, but it says on the way that the bridge is out, so we have to take a different way. So we get there to pick up Leslie, and she's just like, "It's like, wow, you guys got here quick." And we're just like, "Yeah, you know how fast Travis drives." So he goes, so he's just like, "Okay, Evan, sorry, you got to sit in the back." And I'm like, "What? Why? I sat in in the front this whole time. I had shotgun this whole time." He's like, "Yeah, but Leslie's got." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know." So I didn't get into the back seat, and Leslie's like, "Thanks, Evan." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, no problem." And I'm just like, sitting there now, I have to listen to their music, and I don't have the control anymore. So I'm like, so I'm just like, I'm gonna take a nap until we get to Jasmine's. And we get there. It's like a 40-minute drive in the opposite direction. Of course, we got to go and pick up Jasmine. You'd think we would have gone to get her first, but we didn't. So get Jasmine first. We get Jasmine after, and first thing I do is hop out of the car because I already know how this goes. As soon as the door opens, Evan, do you have, like, I need your help with the bags. And I'm just like, of course you do. I know, I'm already on the way. So I get there, I help her open the door, grab the three of her bags and get her handbag and get to the back of the truck. And then I throw the stuff in the back of the truck, let her get in back first. Then I get in. Then we got to turn right back around. 30 minutes away, got to go get Ian. Ian is Jasmine's cousin, so she wasn't going to go if he wasn't going to go because nobody likes hiking more than he does. So we all go. It was fun, fun trip. We're all listening to music, singing, dancing in the car, playing I Spy, all of that good stuff that I guess people do nowadays. And so we finally get to the base of the hiking trail. So we're like, all right, so how far are we going? And then Ian's like, well, all we have to do is get up to, well, we can get closer to the top of the mountain, but we're not going to make it there in one day. So I'm like, yeah, well, we only have like 8 hours. So let's just make the most of it, see how high we can go. And then once it starts getting dark out, we'll just turn around and go back. And then Ian's like, yeah, it's not as long as I'm used to, but whatever. That works for me. Jasmine's just like, man, Ian, you're always, always, always hiking. I don't understand how you can hike so much. And he's just like, well, you see how fit I am. It's easy. Why else would I do it? So Travis and Leslie just look at each other, grab their stuff, and start heading out. We get to the base of the camp, base of the trail to this little camp, and we're just like, all right, well, that's enough hiking for today. He's like, what? No, we haven't even started. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's just go. So we get back we sign in, we get back in the truck, we drive up a little further, and we park, and turn around, and it's just a wide open view, and it was just the greatest view you could have ever imagined. Just, the sun's just high up. You just got the camp, you've got the trail, you got everything behind us, and we're just admiring the view, really. So we hike a little bit more, probably for about another, I want to say half an hour, and we set everything down. And we put up a fire because it starts getting a little colder, which makes sense. We're getting higher up. So we set up a little campfire. We sit around it. We get some marshmallows. We get our sticks out. We're like, yeah, we're going to do s'mores. It might be in the summer, but we're going to do some s'mores. And it was a lot colder out than at the base. So we sit around the fire for a little bit. We're talking and chatting. And so, of course, Leslie just says, you know what, let's play some truth or dare. And I'm like, really? Really? The cliche game of all cliche games we're gonna play. So she's like, yeah, let's play truth or dare. And Travis is like, oh, let's just play truth or dare, I guess. And I look over at Jasmine, and she's just making that signal, just amuse her, just so I'm like, okay, all right, let's play. So then we're like, all right, so who's going first? And Leslie's like, oh, I'll go first. I made the game, I came up with it, so I'll go first. So then Travis says, all right, dare. And Travis and Leslie's like, all right, Leslie says dare. And Travis is like, all right, first dare, you just have to take the covers off for 1 minute. She's like, but it's cold out here. He's just like, well, you were the one who said dare. So she's like, all right, fine. So she takes the dare, she takes the covers off. She stands up. And I mean, it's obviously cold outside. We're just like, all right, yeah, that's terrible. That's torture. But, you know, that's the name of the game. So a minute passes by and she sits back down. She's mad at Travis already. I'm like, well, that was quick. That was quick. And so next time, or so we go around, and then Ian's next. So Ian's just like, all right, you know what? I'm going to top that. I'm doing dare too. So me and Travis look over. We're just like, all right, you got to strip down your underwear and you got to run one run lap, go all the way back down to base and come back. He's just like, what? He's like, we're like, hey, you're the fittest. You do this stuff all the time. He's like, man, I'll be back in like 15 minutes tops. So we see him. We're all like, ooh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. He strips down. He's like, just shut up. And then he runs off. So we're just like, all right, well, we might as well just keep going. It'll be a little bit before he gets back. And so we're just like, all right. So I guess, Jasmine, it's your turn. And then Travis is like, no, don't skip me. And so we're like, all right, Travis, you're next then. So Travis is like, you know what? I'm not trying to get any of that stuff. How about truth? And we're just like, okay. Where did you get that necklace from? I don't remember you having it when we left. And he's like, oh, well, there were some guys down at the base and they were selling them. And I thought this one looked the coolest. So I took it. And Jasmine's like, really? You just buying stuff from strangers now? And then, you know, she did that, really? And then like did the head snap. And so, Travis like, yeah, I didn't see a problem with it. And plus, I bet Leslie loves this. And Leslie looks over him and she's like, yeah. And Travis like, really? And I'm just returning it. And she's like, no, it's cool. It's nice. I like it. And so they keep going. And then Jasmine's like, all right. That's my turn. And so we're like, so Jasmine, which one is it? She's like, I don't know. I think, you know what? Since we're still waiting on the end, let's just do a group dare. And I'm like, a group dare? You can't just change rules like that. And she's like, no, let's do a group dare. And I'm like, okay. And so she's like, yeah, on the map here, it says there's a hot spring. So if we go over here, it's not that far away. It's maybe 5 minutes away. So you can just text Ian and let him know that we're there. And we're like, what do you mean, let him know we're there? He's like, yeah, we're all going to strip down to our underwear so it's not weird when he gets back. And we're like, what? So she's like, yeah, let's all strip down on our underwear. We're running over to Hot Springs and let Ian know that that's where we're at. And he's probably going to be cold too. So I'm sure he'll enjoy it. And I'm like, it's not a terrible idea. It is pretty cold up here. So, you know. We're like, all right, let's get back into the truck and, you know, get our stuff. And then we'll just head back over here. We'll get to the hot spring. It's like 10-15 minutes away. Let's go. So we get back into the truck and then we hear like car noises. We're like, oh, I thought we were the only ones that had this trail booked for right now. And, you know, so we're like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then we start hearing all these trucks and stuff. We hear like some people yelling and stuff. We're like, what in the world is that? And then these Jeeps just start coming up and they're like rolling around and like they're just coming up like really quick. And, you know, we hear all these guys like, oh, yeah. We knew they'd be up here. And it worked. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, did you guys bring it? Did you guys invite us some other people we don't know about? And they're like, Travis was like, no, this wasn't me. And then one of the guys stands up outside of the Jeep and stands up. He's like, yeah, you guys are gone. This is it. Yeah, this is our trail. You guys are going to get out of here. We're taking you guys out. And so they were like, what? And so Leslie's like, no, we got to go. Like, who are these people? And Jasmine's like, Evan, I'm scared. And I'm just like, well, we need to get out of here then. So we get our stuff. You know, and they're just like, oh, they brought us girls too. They brought us ladies too. So we get in the Jeep and we're just like, oh, we got to get out of here. So we start running. Of course, the car doesn't start. We're just like, really? You know, we're like running around. We just leave the stuff. We're like, all right, go. It's like everybody have their phones. Like, let's just go. And they're just running their Jeeps. And so Leslie and Jasmine take off. We're just like, you guys need to wait for us. You know, guys don't know where you're going. They can't hear us. They're just running. So me and Travis like, all right, let's just go around the other way. And so they were tracking down the ladies. And so we're like, okay, well, let's lead them over here. We're like, what are you guys doing? Come on over here. So like, man, let's go get those guys. Let's go get those guys. And so me and Travis are just like, okay. He's like, all right, I'm going this way. You go this way. And I'm just like, wait, what? And so I already see him bolting in the other direction. And so I'm like, okay. So I start running in the opposite direction from him around the base or around the trail. And so I'm just like, Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And so I'm running, and then I guess I fell out of nowhere. I'm like, what? And I turn around, and then I hear like 6, 7 guys like just coming up, and they're just like, hey, he's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why didn't you get back up? I thought you were running. I thought you were running. And they're still like hooting and all this other stuff. I'm just like, oh, okay, what is going on? And so I go, I'm running, and then I just get grabbed. I just get checked, and then one of the guys just grabs me by the arms, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, what are you guys doing? What are you here for? He's just like, this is our trail. We've been on this trail for years. So for you guys to think you can just book it on just a regular day, that doesn't make any sense to me. What about you guys? What do you guys think? They're like, no, 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 it doesn't make any sense to us. I mean, why would they just come in here and think that they can come in onto our turf? Why do they think they can just do that? And I'm like, we didn't even know. Like, if we were able to book it, why would anybody else be booked here? And it's like, oh, we don't have to book anything we don't want to book. This is our territory. We come here every year. We belong here. You guys don't belong here. And once we gather all you guys together, we're going to have ourselves a nice little ritual. And I'm like, what in the world are you guys talking about? He's just like, that's the problem with you guys. You guys your fathers just never hit you enough. But we're going to change all of that right now. And I'm like, what? And so I break free of the guy that's, and I clock that dude right in the face. And that dude's like, what? It's like, what? It's like, man, guys, go get him, get him. And I'm just like, nah, I'm running. I'm like, nah, I'm not about to sit here and have some type of ritual. I'm not dealing with that. And so I run and I'm running. And I see something shining. The sun's hitting the screen of Travis's phone. And I'm like, did he drop his phone? I'm like, where is Travis? Anyway, I don't understand. Like, where'd he go? So I pick up his phone, thankfully I know his password because, we've been friends forever. So I know his password. I'm just sitting there. I'm just trying to dial 911. I'm just trying to dial 911. I'm just trying to get help. And so as I'm running, of course, because I see the guys, they're trailing me. And I'm just trying to dial. Of course, I dial 842. I dial 913. And I'm just like, come on, and I can't stop. So I'm like trying to, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to throw the phone down. I look up and then right around the corner, I see that there's like this little hut. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in there before they catch up to me. I go in there, and as soon as I walk in the door, I just get whammed right in the face. I mean, those were knuckles right there. And I look up, and I'm just like, what in the world just hit me in the face? And it was Jasmine. She just swung as hard as she could. I'm like, what are you doing? And then she's just like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that was them. I'm just like, I guess that makes sense. But like, I'm still reeling. I'm like, man, it feels like my jaw's broken. So I'm like, okay, like, no, it's not me. They're on their way. Is there another way out of here? She's like, no, but Leslie. And I'm like, what are you talking about, but Leslie? So she points to Leslie on the ground. She's sitting there. She's bleeding out of her side. And I'm like, what happened to her? She's just like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, we were running and then we got here and she was just bleeding. And I'm like, what do you mean she was just bleeding? Jasmine, try to tell me everything that happened. Then like, as she's trying to explain it, she's like murmuring it. She's just frantically talking. And you hear the guys coming out. Oh, we know where you guys are at. This is our home. This is our home right here. I'm like, of course it is. So we turn around and we listen for him. We're going to try to hold the door. And Jasmine's like, oh, I don't think we're going to be able to get out of here. And so she just hugs me, and that's it. Like, she just hugs me. Leslie's bleeding. Travis is missing. We haven't seen Ian for like at least however long it's been. It's probably been about 20, 30 minutes by now. We can only imagine what happened to him. And she's just like, I'm scared. And I'm just like, well, there's not a lot we can do. And then just like that, I wake up and I'm just like, what in the world just happened? What in the world just happened? I wake up in bed and I'm like, I guess I was dreaming. And that was it.